Okay, we are going to draw a lipstick. Let's see about the lipstick first. Because of the surface, and it has lots of reflections because it's shiny, right? So you can tell those all the reflections. Those are reflections. And if you want to make it shiny, you make a dark part very dark, then light part very light, then make the contrast, make it shiny, right? So remember this a round thing. So when there's a round and they're all facing different lights, remember that? When they're facing different lights and all the different lights shine it, that's why they get lots of reflection. So make sure you have those reflection and highlight, because this thing is very shiny, so you got leave the highlight. And the top thing is round, but for here that goes like kind of like that. It's not round anymore. It's like box like this, but it's not like a very sharp box. It's not like this box. It's kind of like this kind of box, like, got it? So, and the edge is not that sharp, but still turn to this way, right? That turn to that way. So the top part is a cylinder, and the top part is a cylinder, which is this. And the bottom part is like this. Let me put a little bit side views so we can see better on the other side. Okay. It's a little bit, it's like a actually it is like a rectangle, but the edge is just not that sharp. A rectangle, okay? So this face and this face and this face is different face, not like cylinder. This like all round. This has face. That's why this part is light, that part is dark. Okay, let's see. Then this casting shadow. Look at the shape, and this one is a hard to shade. But if you understand, you will do it. It's like bump, then bump down, right? Bump up, bump down. So that create a shadow here. This goes down, and this bump up, this bump down, right? And this up, that is casting shadow. And this part is bump down and bump up. When they bump up, they have a highlight here. You can see that, right? So if you understand all the, whether it goes up and down, then you can shade it. So first, you do a proportion right. Make the proportion right, okay? The proportion is the proportion is about like how many squares you can measure it. I didn't really measure it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 squares. Okay? That's the proportion of that rectangle. In 5 squares, there half of it is this part, half of that part, and which is this, and that's the bottom part. That's this and this and this, kind of like same length. So after you have the proportion made it, then you can do like the shape of it. Then you start get the casting shadow where the core shadow should be. That's the other side. And you can start shading. The main part to remember the shading is don't shade one part all same value. You have changes always. Okay? You can tell this picture always. I didn't shade a flat like that. Right? So always from dark to light, from dark to light. Then you have to pay attention where's dark, where's light. Okay, after this, and you can shade at the top. Of course, the top is a cylinder too, right? But with this on the top. So the dark against the light, dark against light against dark, that made that shape. Core shadow, because both are cylinder. This is the first layer of shading. That's when I darkened it. See, you can tell, but same thing. Don't shade flat. Always have a dark and light. Pay attention to that reflections. So here is that what I talking about, the go up and down thing, right? Made this, three-dimensional. You can tell that's a three-dimensional thing. And then the casting shadow, very important. Where's the dark, where's the light? Okay, very important. The casting shadow is this darker than this, but that's lighter than that. You can tell, look, right? Darker than that, but lighter than that. So how you know that? Just by looking at it. That's it. It's that simple. The problem with you guys is you don't want to look. Actually, it's with everyone. They just want to look at once and finish it. That for everyone is that. That's just, So you got to tell yourself to pay attention to the detail. When you shade one part, when you shade here, keep looking at that part. See the different value of it. Okay, that's fine.